Hello, my name is Daniel and I will be talking about my research planning poster. The research that I would like to do is finding out how does a person's age affect their chance of experiencing peer pressure and if there's any correlation between the two factors at all. Everyone in this world is surrounded by many other people as humans are a social species. It is only natural that different people have different beliefs and opinions, and it is also natural for them to want to fit in with the surrounding society. It is reasonable to assume that often the behavior of surrounding people can form or affect one's decisions or beliefs. This could negatively affect their mental health, as they don't end up acting the way they want to act themselves, but instead they act the way other people expect them to. To avoid that, this topic requires more research in order for us to understand how to control the negative effects of peer pressure. A study was conducted in several schools that focused on investigating how would students react to their peers exposing anti-prejudice and anti-stereotype behavior. To do so, a peer trainer was chosen at every school, and the students were supposed to um, use his behavior as a role model. It has been found that students tend to follow the same views on certain stereotypes and prejudices as their friends, and therefore prejudice is strongly influenced by representatives of psychologically valued reference groups for them. In another study, it has been found that adolescence is the period in life of a person when his relationships with his peers are the most important because it's a crucial age during which the person forms his personality and beliefs. A different study has been investigating the relationships between cyberbullying and peer pressure amongst teens. The main conclusion that came out of that research is that the victims of cyberbullying tend to fall and succumb to peer pressure easier than others. Another argument for further investigating the topic of peer pressure is that it has been found that teens who succumb to peer pressure tend to struggle with establishing autonomy in relationships with their peers, which is very bad. It's dangerous as it can lead to developing depression, which in turn can lead to a lot of complications. All articles that I have looked at agreed on the fact that usually peer pressure happens in adolescence, even though they didn't provide much evidence for it. Also, none of the researched articles have talked about why and how exactly does peer pressure happen, therefore making it quite a gray area in this topic. Knowing at what age and how the peer pressure happens will definitely help social psychologists to come up with strategies that will help people avoid getting peer pressured and avoid developing depressive symptoms. I have included a graph in this poster. It's supposed to show how age relates to the person's ability to resist peer pressure. However, it's not very clear from it how resistance is actually measured. The goal of my study would be producing a similar graph, but instead of putting resistance to peer pressure on the y-axis, I would like to put a percentage chance. The aim of the study will be researching how one's age is related to the chance of them experiencing peer pressure. In other words, the point is to figure out the age at which peer pressure most commonly happens and find the most common reason and circumstance under which it happens. The study will hypothesize that the age in which the chance of getting and succumbing to peer pressure is the highest around 15 years old, which is around the average age the previous articles were talking about. Second part of the hypothesis will be that the most common form of peer pressure is when a group of people is pressuring someone to drink alcohol against their will. Thanks a lot for listening.